one of the first steps you should take, as an independent artist, who decided that you aspire to be in the music industry, is protecting your original content, but to make sure that you're gonna get paid off of your original content, or any piece of work that you've performed on. So what we're seeing on social media is all these major artists coming out talking about they didn't get paid, or this happened, or I got screwed over by my record label. My record label did this. A lot of these issues could have been resolved if those individuals had been educated in how to do exactly what we're about to talk about. So before you ever step in a booth to record on a single or EP, or you're recording on somebody's album featuring on a record, you definitely want to have that discussion about the split sheet and where is the split sheet. Everybody that's involved with the record has to fill out the split sheet. This is for writers and for publishing purposes. This is where you're going to determine what percentage of this record, what you're going to make off this record. If this record goes viral, or if we get a hit record, what's going to happen next? A lot of these conversations never happen. I work with artists right now who have songs that have been spinning on the radio for years, and they haven't received one single dime. The major reason is because they had no media-based paperwork that was completed properly before they started on their musical journey. And the artists that are doing that, you guys are the next artists to go live to say, I'm not getting paid for my record and I don't know why. Or someone sold a record, or somebody did this, so many different things we're hearing on these social platforms. But everybody in the industry know exactly why they're not getting paid. And it's because they fail to take care of their foundational paperwork. You have to register with a pro. What is a pro? A pro is a performance rights organization. In the United States, you have BMI, CSAC, and ASCAP. CSAC is invite only. So let's focus on the main two, BMI and ASCAP. They're going to collect your performance royalties whenever your music is used or played publicly. So when you go to a concert and you're watching a performance, those artists have not been only paid for that show that they're doing, but they also are being paid for that performance if they have properly registered with a performance rights organization. Most of the signed artists don't have to worry about this because, believe me, the major record labels are going to properly protect and register their record with every platform that I'm talking about. So when your music is played publicly, you're getting paid. When your music is played in an elevator, you hear that music playing in an elevator, or you're in a restaurant eating with your family and you hear your favorite artists, those artists are being paid, or they are supposed to be being paid. You're not getting paid, and you're not going to get paid until you go and take care of the media-based paperwork. Now, over the last 15 years, I've met artists that they have bits and pieces of this, bits and pieces of that. Then I've met artists who have none of that, and they have songs that are all over the major streaming platforms. They're not making any money off the songs that they have registered on all these major platforms. That's great to be on Apple. It's great to be on Tidal. You're supposed to be on Tidal. But what's the point of being on these platforms if you're never gonna get paid? A lot of you guys do not have fan bases. You don't have an engaged fan base. We're in the digital era. A lot of you guys have to go to work on the social platforms. Artists call me all the time to tell me they going to this meeting and meeting with this label. Somebody's gonna hook them up in the industry, and I've heard it all from independent artists. And at the end of the day, I don't care who you meet, what you sign, who you partner with. If you're not educated in how music business work in 2022, you're the next artist to go live. You're the next artist to go live. You're not no victim. You're not a victim. You're just uneducated in how music business work, and they know it already. They're going to go look your record up. I'm looking your records up, and if I'm telling a lot of the artists that I talk to, after about 10, 15 minutes on the phone of them telling me how great they are and how they want to book major shows, and they the best thing since sliced bread, I have to give them the bad news that they don't really exist in this ecosystem. And most artists believe that because they own Apple, they own Tidal, they own iTunes charts, that they are in the music industry and they have a real career going. Go take care of the foundational paperwork. Go properly register your catalogs. These platforms, you can Google the platform. You're gonna have to read and research, guys. You're gonna have to do some hard work. If you're lazy, nothing is gonna happen. What has happened in the last 10 years? What's happened in the last 5 years for you? What's happened in the last year for a lot of you artists? Nothing is moving with the records, man. You're pulling these records up, the artists that we see on social platforms every day, all day, talking about music careers in the music industry. And when you go to look these artists up, they have no foundation. They have no engaged fan base, but they working on albums. How are you working on albums? Do you have one song with 1 million streams? Do you have one song? Do you have one hit record right now? Why are you working on an album? Who told you that it was time for an album? It's not time for an album. It's not time for an album. It's time to get your media-based foundation in order. We've been having these same conversations, man, for over 15 years with artists. And the ones who don't listen, the ones who didn't want to listen, they don't exist. They're just on the social platforms all day. You're spending money. A lot of brands in my market are just spending money. You're spending money, purchasing this and you purchasing that. You purchasing big budget features. But when people go to look at your foundation, your catalog, you don't own your catalog. Your catalog is full of beats that you bought off of BeatStars or you found on YouTube. You're never gonna get paid off of this content because you don't own it. We're in the era of ownership. It's about what you own. It's time to own, operate, and monetize your original content. These platforms work off of monetization. If you're not monetized on Facebook, you're just on Facebook all day. If you're not monetized on YouTube and not currently in the monetization program with YouTube, you're just on YouTube all day. Nobody is engaging with your content. If you're just paying individuals to run up your views on YouTube, you're not getting paid because YouTube don't pay off of views. YouTube pays off of ad views. So that's why you're not making any money. Turn your comments on your visuals. Somebody told you to run your numbers up. You got 500,000, you got 1 million views, but you got 30 comments in the comment section. That screams bot. They know it. You own somebody's website. Facebook is a website. Somebody can see on the back end. Your analytics gonna tell people when you go and buy something and run your numbers up overnight. It look good, but you're killing your brand. And you're gonna get your original content pulled out. It's time to stop pretending that you're in the music industry and get your foundation in order. I will continue to say that. It's about the foundation. It's about your music foundation. It's about a catalog. A lot of you don't have the budgets to move the records. A lot of you have never put $2,000 behind a single. And that ain't no money in this industry. Do you have $100,000? That record not going nowhere. Do you have $200,000? The song not going on the radio stations. You have to have a realistic budget. You need funding to be in the music industry. You're being paid fractions of pennies on the streaming platforms. That's the only front end royalty a lot of y'all gonna receive right now. And you're not getting that right now because you refuse to buy into the fact that you're going to invest in you. You're going to spend ad dollars. Your records are not moving, but you're on social platforms all day engaging and you see nobody's engaging. Everybody else see that nobody's engaging with your music. If the same individuals are talking to you back and forth, when you post something, you got a small cheerleading squad. That's great. Put them to work. I don't see them sharing your content. You understand what I'm saying? We are in the digital era of music. You got to come into this era. You got to get into that mind state first before we can do anything else. But go get registered with a performance rights organization. ASCAP or BMI in the United States. Free to sign up with BMI as a writer. $150 to self-publish. $250 if you have a publishing company. If you got a publishing company, that means you have a bank account set up. Hey, it's 2022. You have to incorporate your brand. It's about a brand now. Nobody told y'all that so far, but you're still trying to operate on these social platforms, posting your song telling people you're on Apple, telling people you're on Tidal, and it don't mean jack shit. So you don't have to listen to me, but you're gonna listen to somebody. Or you just keep listening to these artists coming out to confirm what we've been saying for over 15 years. It's about media-based foundation, man. It's about a catalog. Ladies and gentlemen, you're super talented. People telling you just keep working hard. You know what working hard is? NBA Youngboy dropped 100 songs this year. It's November. 101 songs. How many songs did you drop? That's consistency. That's hard work. That's dedication. Yes, he's a signed artist, so he definitely gonna work. But he out-content everybody. He's supposed to be the #1 artist. They got catalogs. So a lot of artists, if their music not moving, the next thing you see, now they got merch. It's gonna work the same damn way. You don't have an engaged fan base that's gonna go and purchase your merch. Where's your website? Where's your artist website? Where's your monetized YouTube channel? I'm gonna keep saying this. Are you monetized on Instagram? Are you monetized on Facebook? You're not monetized. Your numbers, your analytics show us that you're not monetized. You're gonna get that way if you're gonna do anything in this era. So instead of venting and talking about who not supporting you, who hating on you, nobody give a damn. That's ignorance when you get online talking about that, because it's about the masses, and you're worried about a small town that you live in or your city that's not supporting you, and it's millions and millions and millions of people on these social platforms. Stop making a fool of yourself on the social platforms. Go take care of your foundation paperwork. You haven't registered with a pro. You haven't registered with a pro. You haven't registered with a publishing administrator, so nobody is collecting your mechanicals on the back end. Your performance organizations in the United States, like I said, BMI and ASCAP, only collect performance royalties in the United States only. So who's been collecting your mechanicals? I know you got 300,000 streams. That's the mechanical. That's a front end royalty you receive. Where's your other money that you're due on the back end? Nobody's collected. Nobody's ever collected that. That money's going to sit in a pot. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do and do it fast, your money is going to be distributed to the top artists in the market. So it's time to stop pretending, man. I continue to say that. It's individuals that I know right now still online pretending that they're in the music industry because they have a LLC. It's a lot of LLCs that are going out of business and going bankrupt. It does not mean that you're in the record business about record sales. We're in the download and streaming era. Nobody is streaming and downloading your music just because you're on Apple and you're not spending any type of money, no type of advertising money to move your records. You got a shoestring budget right now. It's going to be a long, slow, hard road. You got a $250 a month budget. You got a $500 a month budget. Most artists don't have $500 a month to put behind their music in $1 billion industry. So you got to stop the ignorance, man. I don't go back and forth with individuals when it comes to this anymore because it's straight ignorance. You have a shoestring budget. You're not getting 1 million streams on a shoestring budget. You're not getting 1 million nothing on a shoestring budget, man. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to move these records. So you can continue to pretend, or you can go take care of your business. You're going to go take care of your music business, man. Stop worrying about the industry because it's going to be a long time before you're in the industry. And if a lot of you go into the industry right now, you're in the same boat as Gorilla and Hit Kid because you know your foundation is not in order. I could pull all these artists that we looking on this list, 40 some artists, man, 40 artists, and their media-based foundation is incomplete, but they're shooting big budget videos. They working on albums right now without a fan base. Those individuals are living in their own realities. You're acting and operating like artists. You got the chains. I see you look like a rapper. You're doing everything the rappers are doing, but you're not getting paid. Young, independent, uneducated artists. It's time to stop pretending, man. Go get properly aligned. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in to the channel. I'm gonna continue to drop the knowledge. I'm gonna continue to drop the truth. So when I tell you something, don't just Go do it. I definitely want you to go do it, but go read, research, and then register with these platforms so you know why you got to register with them and how you get paid. Because if you don't go register with one platform, you're not going to be able to do anything on the other platform. Because when you go to Sound Exchange, they're going to be asking for things that you already supposed to have from another platform. So that's the way it works. That's why you're not getting paid. That's why nothing is happening for you on the social platforms. You're just talking all day. You're talking about getting booked for shows and people paying you for features. Why would anybody pay an unestablished artist? Why would somebody book an artist with no fan base? Nobody's coming to the show. Nobody's gonna make no money. Now, if you signing up for people to be an opening act, but then a lot of y'all opening up for these bigger rappers and these bigger name rappers, and when y'all get in front of their fan base, you're not leaving anything tangible for the individuals. You understand what I'm saying? So you just perform tonight. And then you can go on your social platform to talk about that for 6 months. When you open up for Slim Thug or when you open up for whoever you open up for, it don't fucking matter if nothing is coming back to you and your brand. I'll leave all my links in the description box, man. Street Kings, SME, like I said, is a ZMundaland Music. We're industry service providers, man. We offer several services to independent artists. You want to get your media base in order, you got to get incorporated. You're a serious artist, you want to be, you aspire to be in the industry someday, you got to get incorporated in 2022 and moving forward. We're not going back. You're selling merch, you're hand in the hand, you selling merch out of your trunk of your car. That's great. Congratulations. It's 2022. It's the digital age. You need a website. You need a website to drive traffic to you and your brand. You understand what I'm saying? You guys are not set up on the platforms right. You're not using these platforms right. And a lot of y'all are going to fade away. I said this 5 years ago. It's a digital tsunami coming. It's a digital tsunami that's coming. And if you're uneducated in how these platforms work, what these algorithms move, what they mean, they're very real. And a lot of y'all know it's real because nothing is happening on your social platforms and you know it. When you go to Spotify, you go to look in on the back end of your Spotify for artists, you see you're not getting no monthly streams. You see it say less than 100, less than 1,000 next to your song. It's a lot of y'all got songs that say less than 1,000. That screams I have no marketing, I have no promo, I have no budget to push my records. So it's no secret, but you just going to continue on that same process and get the same. You're going to get the same results if you're on these platforms. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get shut out. Don't get drowned out because nobody can see you. You're on ad-based platforms. These are ad-based platforms. You're on somebody else's platform. You can be pulled down. You need to create your own platform. You can see what's happening in Kanye West. All these major brands separating from you. That's gonna happen. You don't own the platform. They can remove you. They can put you in Facebook jail. Create your own platforms. But until you can afford to do that, you're going to go through the system. You're going through the YouTube monetization program, or it don't matter that you're on social platforms all day. It's no link attached to you. When you post things directly on Facebook, it's not yours anyway. You signed up for Facebook. That's not your picture. That's not your video. That's Zuckerberg's video, his picture. And they're using y'all content in different things, and you don't know it. So everybody getting paid off of you, but you. Don't that kind of sound familiar? So all these people coming out crying to you, I got fucked over by my label. And I ain't got paid for my song, this and that, because you don't fucking own it. Because you want to be famous. You weren't worried about the foundation, man. It's foundation over fame. It's foundation over fame. Every artist that come out, I ain't been paid. And this and the label did. The label didn't do shit. The label ain't paid you because they don't owe you no fucking money. That big ass advance that you took, that advance loan, they're gonna recoup that. They're going to invest marketing dollars in you. You're supposed to be investing marketing dollars in your records, digital, radio, interviews. You got a lot of shit that you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing. And when these artists get on these interviews, have y'all noticed these unsigned independent artists? Why are you going on? What are you going on interviews for? What do you have to talk about? It's nothing to talk to you about for a full hour. You're talking about other artists and industry artists. And you're an unsigned, unknown, independent artist. You got to stop the ignorance, man. A lot of y'all invest a lot of time in studio time and big budget videos and $0 in your marketing. and your return is exactly the same. Release after release after release. Don't matter who you partner with, don't matter what you go and do, it still comes back to, is your foundation in order? As an independent artist, whether you're in a group or not, you're an independent entity. Paperwork, power is in the paperwork, knowledge is power. Hey man, I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. I got much more content coming.